Before getting to your to-do list, start with a not to-do list. Yes, find the wrong things and stop doing them. It already brings back so much energy and time and all of it. Like we're talking about performance, productivity, and profit. Like one thing that everybody can do, print out your credit card, business credit card statement and go through it and find all of those subscriptions and memberships that you don't use anymore and cancel them. All of those adds up. Now, see that process of the audit? Do it for your tasks, do it for your activities, focus on business and everything. Everything that you can stop doing and not do anymore, the not to-do list. When you exhausted that list, then we can get into to-do list with all of these accumulated and saved and rescued time, energy, and money. Now we can actually put those to-do list items on high performance.
Hey, it's Chuck here, and I'm so glad that you're listening to this episode. And I just want to take this quick moment right now to let you know about our free Collaborators Toolkit. And this episode is all about partnership and collaboration. And our guests share many resources, tools, and things that you can use to make collaboration and partnership easier in your business. So if you're looking for better ways to grow and scale your business through collaborations and strategic partnerships, this free Collaborators Toolkit is going to contain the best resources from our workshops as well as contributions from our guests. And these tools could be the missing link that you've been looking for, and they're going to help you to solve everyday business challenges and access highly effective ideas that can help and grow your business exponentially. I know they've helped me, and I know they're going to help you as well. And the best part about these tools is that they're completely free. And our gift to you for being a valued member of our community and a subscriber to the show. So you can get access to all of the resources contained inside the Collaborators Toolkit today by visiting the website at www.collaboratorsunite.com/toolkit. That address again is www.collaboratorsunite.com/toolkit. Go ahead and register today, get access to all the resources, and I'm going to see you on the inside. Now, here's the episode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Chuck Anderson here. I am so excited because today, my guest, I'm here with Dr. Kayvon K, good friend of mine. We've collaborated and done things in the past for years and years and years. I don't know how many, but thank you so much for being on the show. You're going to learn so much from him. And we talk about transformation and collaboration on this show, and there's no better person to learn from than this guy right here. So Kayvon, welcome to the show.
Hi, Chuck. Thank you for that exciting introduction. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And, introduction is a great place to start. And I don't like to say too much. I mean, you know your story better than I. So let's have you kind of share with everybody, who you are. I know you're big time into, productivity and profit, and learned so much from you over the years. How would you introduce yourself and what you do?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Well, let's start with my name. Hello, everyone. My name is Kayvon. People call me different things. And Chuck, you and I have met. I'm a big dude. So people call me Kayvon K, Big K, and sometimes even a special K. So whatever works, I'll respond. And I the work that I do, I get to work with entrepreneurs and small business owners. I work with overworked entrepreneurs and business owners, and I get to help them to get unstuck and back on track by cutting edge strategies to remove all the obstacles to their profitability and productivity. How's that?
I love it. And I love how you say that you get to, because that really speaks to, your attitude and why I think it's so fun to collaborate with you, because you look forward to the opportunities and you have fun and you have enthusiasm, that get to versus I have to, or this is what I do. So
I'm with you. Listen, entrepreneurs are my heroes. I'm here to serve them. They are my kind of people. I like to be around them. They make the difference in the world. So they are the kind of people that, I do everything to be around them. And, if they have me, they can count me as one of them.
Well, you're definitely one of those. You certainly have been to me. So, let's dive in and, let's talk a little bit. I mean, again, the theme here, transformation and collaboration. Yes. And, I would love to hear just that little bit more about, how you help to facilitate transformation, the lives of your clients. And, what is it that transformation, what does that really look like? And how did you get into doing that?
Oh, how did I get into this? Okay. I can really give you the long version, but let's go for the short version.
The version that everybody's going to love.
Yes. Well, I just mentioned, the obstacles and challenges to productivity and profit. Well, I had the same challenges and obstacles myself, and I didn't want them. Building and growing a business seemed to be, for some unnecessary reason, to be more complicated than it has to be, right? So I focused on solving that puzzle for myself. Talking about collaboration, I asked every kind of help that I could receive. I looked to all sorts of solutions. I got my hands and studied anything that seemed to be relevant. So doing that, after a while, I was able to help other people also remove the same obstacles with the solutions that they worked for me or for my other clients. And that's how it all started and expanded from there. Did that answer your question?
It does. Yes. And so I love that. And, we could spend all day because I know that there's so much that you can share that is so transformational in terms of business. And I know we have a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs that listen to this show. Yes. And, that's really, really beneficial. One of the themes though, and you meant, the word collaboration. And so, let's do a deeper dive into that. And, first of all, what is your sort of, what comes to mind when you think of the word collaboration, and how has that made a difference in what you're doing?
The difference is huge. The impact is significant. Okay, we both work with entrepreneurs. We're all, listeners of the same thing. So how about the little game? I always ask my clients this question, sometimes more than once. I ask them to finish this sentence. If you want something done right, you have to. And default programming that we all have is you have to do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
As entrepreneurs and as small business owners, we know that's not the right answer, right? So if you want something done right, you have to hire an expert, get somebody else to help you with that. Because here's the reality. I, or anybody else, I cannot possibly be great. Forget about great. Be good at everything. There are a few things that they are my strengths, and everything else has to be done through somebody else. So when we talk about collaboration and cooperation and all of that, it's a wide spectrum for me. It goes all the way from delegation to partnership, right? So I think the impact is huge. There are two types of tasks that we can do. The ones that we have to do by ourselves, and we can do by ourselves. That's usually where our strength, our genius zone is. And the other one, that the work that we do with other people. So when it comes to partnerships and collaborations and delegation, I think it's our duty to be masters in delegation, to be masters in partnership. That makes all the difference in the world.
I couldn't agree more. And, I love that, if I had to do something right, you got to do it myself. And I just remember my grandfather and my father saying that, we're farmers in southern Alberta, Canada. And, that was the attitude. Not that there wasn't cooperation and collaboration with others, but it was this mindset of that I just need to get this done. And, when I started out in business, started off that way, but you soon realize that it is so difficult to build anything of any consequence or any
Yes.
real significance alone. And so collaboration with people like you and so many others, which is really why, really what we're talking about here today. So I
Yes,
love
I
that.
completely agree. We have the same 24/7, 24 hours in a day, and we are going to be busy. It's just a matter of what are you going to be busy with? The task that is your strength and moves the needle, or that and everything else. So let's be busy with what makes a difference.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Like, let's get busy making a difference. I love that. And you definitely do that in the work that you do. So
Yeah.
let's dive a little deeper in that. So, you've definitely done multiple collaborations in
Yes.
one capacity or another over the years. Can you recall a time where, or maybe your most significant collaboration where maybe there was a lot of creativity or it had a lot of impact or something, and maybe something that can inspire others to think differently about their collaborations?
Well, thank you for that question. That certainly brings back a lot of good memories. And I'd like to pick up on two of the words that you just said, creativity and impact. So I'll give you an example for both. Creativity. I am a listener talker, and I get to show up at my best when it's in a conversation, which is a form of collaboration, right? So, great things. We can talk about great things, but the best version of those conversations and the best version of us comes in collaboration with somebody else. So a good example of it is a podcast that my good friend Di Manuel and had a while ago. It was just two guys coming together, but the fact that we were just talking and collaborating, we quickly recorded a bunch of episodes. And for that project, for the length of it, for the life of it, it was great. Every part of it felt easy and smooth and creative. So that's what comes to mind when you said creativity. And talking about impact, I'll give you an example from my business right now. I'm working with this partner, right? Because that's how I like to think of people, that they are very, very good at in lead generation. I am okay with it, but not my strength. And they're very good at it. And I happily pay for their share of the profit, their commission or their fee or whatever that is, because their work enables me to work within my strength, which is the first step of it, the lead conversion, the sales part, which gives me the opportunity to serve my clients in the form of coaching and consulting that I do to deliver the thing. So if the lead generation is not done by them, I have to do whatever the level of creativity that I can do to hopefully bring some people to myself for that lead conversion and coaching and delivery. But this partnership, it's working really well. I'm really happy to be in that kind of partnership. As I said, I will gladly pay for that part of it, because that's the ultimate kind of a partnership, which makes it a win-win-win situation for all parties who are involved. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Well, it does. And I can so resonate with what you just said with, creating a win-win-win. And really, for any partnership or collaboration to work, there really has to be that present, doesn't there? And so looking for that. So how did this come to be? Did you go looking for the collaboration, or was it sort of an opportunity there? Like how did, because a lot of people will ask, like, okay, great. Like, how do I find someone to collaborate with, or how do I find a great partner? And, there's lots of different ways, and sometimes they're just there. What's your story? How did you come across these?
That's such a great question, Chuck. So let me give you the story of two guys. And they're both me, but different versions of me. The previous version of it. So the old me, he had that attitude of, I'm going to get this thing done, and eventually later I'm going to find somebody who can help. But to get it started, I have to do it myself. I am a believer in delegation and partnership, but at the beginning, I can't afford to have somebody else to do it. Until I realized the reason that I cannot afford it is because I'm trying to do it myself. Right. So exactly. That was one of those, slap your forehead kind of a moment. So the new me, the new, as you said, mindset is as soon as something shows up, I have changed my question from how am I going to get this done to who can help me with this. So from how to who, that has been the movement. As I said, when you have the who question, it goes from all the way from delegation to have a partnership. I know that as soon as I say outsourcing and delegation, all sorts of resistance comes up in people because, we have said it all and we have heard it all. Like nobody can do it as good as I can, or it's so hard to train other people, or this is a common one. Can we trust other people?
Yeah.
That's the thing. But here's the thing. Like everything else in life, there are methods of doing it. There's a skill of delegation that, yes, we are at the beginning, we are beginners, but we can get better at it. Other people have done it, so can we. For example, did you know there are 6 levels of delegation? There's a skill that you can say, okay, I'm going to delegate, and this is going to be a level 2 delegation or level 3 delegation. So just that has been a game changer. The fact that I have learned that and I help my clients with that. So the mindset of looking for the right who's to help me with getting things done. So the more I do that, and the more I or my clients, we stay in our genius zone, in our strength zone, that has been a game changer.
Yeah. And I love how you pointed out some of the typical points of resistance that people have. And I know for sure I had those, not only at the beginning of my entrepreneurial career. This is like year 27 now, I think it is, not to date myself too much, but it's also happened in the last 12 months. So, you're never really truly immune to it. And, so there's the autopilot that comes. But, key question that I heard you say there is not, how do I do it or what do I need to do, but who can help me with this? Who can I partner with to get this done? Who could do this for me? I mean, there's a lot of different forms of the who question, but really in the context of whatever it is that you're trying to do. And that's a game changer, right? Yeah. To start to ask that question differently.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So that's cool. So that's a lot of like how you find, so anything tactical. So in terms of like the opportunity that to the collaboration opportunity that you already talked about, yeah. How did it come to be? Like, was it someone you were already working with, or did you go looking for them?
Well, in this case, it was somebody that I already knew, and we all know someone for almost everything. And if we don't, just ask around. People in our network, they because the ones when you ask for, hey, do you know an expert on this area or that area from the friends that you know, like, and trust. Because they have a relationship with you, they're not just going to recommend anyone to you, because their reputation is on the line too. So it's coming from a trusted source. Or sometimes people tell me, hey, I don't know these people, I haven't worked with them, but they look that they know what they're doing. So give it a try. So that little bit of a caution over there is also a good. So yeah. So sometimes I have to look for people. But most of the time, I already know someone, or somebody in my network can recommend someone that makes a big difference. So that's another partnership, right? That's delegation. We're outsourcing the thinking, or we're outsourcing the resourcefulness.
It's just the recommendation in itself. Like, hey, does anybody know anyone who's good at this? Who should I talk to? Who should I talk to? Right? And you put that out to your network. And then you're really, really good at this, having great relationships with people. And I know you and I have come in and out of each other's worlds over the last decade or so. And sometimes there's things of relevance that are happening today. And other times it's like just checking in. Hey, how are you doing? Right?
Yes.
Pre-pandemic, going for lunch. I remember really well doing that. And exactly, it's like,
yeah, that was a good day.
It was a good day. I look forward to the day that we can do that again, my friend, because it's been too long for all of us, going through all of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it really speaks to like, never burn your bridges, right? And, always leaving those relationships better at the end than when you found them. So the door is always open. You never know when someone can re-enter your world, or they're the key. You put it out there on LinkedIn or Facebook and say, hey, does anybody know somebody? Then Kayvon shows up and says, hey, did you try this guy? Or did you try this? And so, keeping those relationships.
Very key. Can I give like a little visual about the bridges?
Yeah.
Over here. So think about war. There are two forces, defensive and offensive. Which position do you want to have in your business? Do you want to be, reactionary to everything that happens in front of you? Or do you want to be the offensive and go for things and achieve things and all of that? So when it comes to bridges, actual physical bridges in a war, the defensive, they're always trying to blow up the bridges. But the offensive are trying to maintain and keep the bridges from burning down and coming down. So that's how an offensive force, a go-getter force, behaves. They not only maintain the bridges, but protect them and build them and all of that. So that's how I see relationship and bridges.
I love that. And, keeping those bridges intact so that you're doing things intentionally. You say offensive, it's also intentionally because because you never know how those are going to benefit you in the future. And I think the problem, so many people are short-term thinkers. Like, can you benefit me today? And if you can, then I want you in my world. And if you can't, then you're out there somewhere, but you just never.
And those are the bridges that I block.
Right. And you can just sense that attitude a mile away when it's happening. So huge, and you just never know. And that's like, right, treating your network, treating your friends properly, and always never really knowing. And that's the thing. Like I don't have any expectations of my connections, but those connections are there because you just never know when you put something out there. I'm always surprised at, who it is that responds when we put things like that out there. And it's not always who you think. And
that's a perfect way of saying it. I also get surprised so many times by so many people too.
Yeah. So let's shift gear. We talked a lot about collaboration. I'd like to talk a little bit more about transformation. And I know that you and I share a love for personal development and learning and growing. And I think that's why we get along so well. I would love to hear, who are some of your favorite experts that you've learned from over the years that have made the biggest difference to your growth?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me preface it by this. More than type of expertise, I look at their level of expertise. Because, when people are at the higher level, the master level of expertise in whatever topic, they have got to what I call the wisdom level. And over there, it's a point of view. It's a vantage point that regardless of the topic, it's relevant to what you do. There is something to take from that. So the people who are at the highest level of expertise in something, they're ones that I always end up learning one thing or another, either directly related to their topic, or many times what you learn over there applies somewhere else too. So when you say who you have learned from, there are so many people in different topics, like, I don't know, stand-up comedians. The way that they look at things, they make you, because that's the starting point for creativity, which is another name for entrepreneurship, right? Looking at things with a different kind of a point of view. So that's what I have to say about that, as far as experts.
I love that point of view. And of course that, there's so many great sources of learning. And I think in entrepreneurship too, we think a lot about who are the business leaders we can learn from. But like you said, you can learn a lot from a stand-up comedian, right? Yes. So like Jerry Seinfeld is one that I learn a lot from because he's just one who does things so intentionally. Yeah. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. He will say no to the wrong things and do the things intentionally that he wants to do. And that was a big takeaway that I got from a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, exactly. I have learned so much from Jerry as well. Yes.
Yeah. So in terms of the business world, since our audience, so many entrepreneurs, business owners, if you could pick just one business leader that people should go and check out and learn, who would you recommend there?
So I don't know how many people know this book. It's called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. He was one of the original, advertisement men of Madison Street. The way that he looks at things, and I know this is a book about copywriting and advertising, but you learn so much about everything else in business, or just how to look at life. So that's one of my all-time favorites. May I suggest another one too?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So there is this other one again on my desk, my favorite books, Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield.
Oh, okay.
It has to do a lot with creativity. And we mentioned resistance that comes up when we need to do something new or different and all of that. And this is a book about resistance and what to do about it and how to approach it. I like how he starts the whole book something like this: on the field of the self stands a knight and a dragon. You are the knight, resistance is the dragon. Right? So getting over our resistance and all of that, doing the work and taking it to the next level, I think this is a must-read book for everyone. Go get it from Amazon today. I think Kindle is like $5 or something. Get it today, read it today, kind of thing.
And of course, full disclaimer, neither one of us earn a commission on that. And it's just, straight from the heart recommendation from Special K here. So,
yes.
So love that because, so there's, so many great experts. We could spend all day listing off the experts that have made a difference in both of our lives. One of the ones in common that you and I share is Dan Sullivan.
Yes.
And so, and we could speak probably all day on the things we've learned from him, but I love that recommendation. I haven't read either of those books. And, being in the advertising and marketing business, I probably should have read the first one that you mentioned. And I'm going to check out Do the Work as well. I think that's really cool. Because again, the more we can learn from other people who figured things out, the easier it is to do the things that we're trying to do, isn't it?
Yes. Well, reading a book by a master like that is a kind of partnership. That's how I see it. They have done the thinking. They have done the experience. Are you telling me that I can get somebody's whole life experience for $30? Well, sign me up.
Exactly. Where else are you going to go? You could sign up for their $30,000 a year mastermind. Take your pick, right? So I think, I love so many cool things that we've talked about here today. We've talked about collaboration. We've talked about transformation. And really, I think that's why so many of us got into entrepreneurship. We got into business ownership because we want to make a difference. We want to transform other people's lives. We wanted to transform our own lives. And there's such a growth journey to that. So, you've got some great tips there. And also, we don't do it alone. We don't do it alone. So
we're all in this together.
Absolutely. So Kay, if you were going to take everything and encapsulate everything we talked about today and leave the listeners with one juicy nugget of wisdom that would, be the biggest game changer of their day, what would you tell them?
Okay, I'm under the spotlight now. Okay.
Yes.
This better be good. So here's the thing. Our natural tendency when we are confronted with something is what to do. And I'm saying we live in a world of so much. I'm thinking removing the areas that they're not performing well, or it's a waste of time, energy, money, and all of that. We starting with that. So my recommendation is, before getting to your to-do list, start with a not to-do list.
The not to-do list.
Yes, find the wrong things and stop doing them. It already brings back so much energy and time and all of it. Like, we're talking about performance, productivity, and profit. Like, one thing that everybody can do, print out your business credit card statement, and go through it and find all of those subscriptions and memberships that you don't use anymore and cancel them. All of those adds up. Now, see that process of the audit? Do it for your tasks, do it for your activities, focus on business and everything. Everything that you can stop doing and not do anymore, the not to-do list. When you exhausted that list, then we can get into to-do list with all of these accumulated and saved and rescued time, energy, and money. Now we can actually put those to-do list items on high performance.
I love that. That is so cool. And if there's any one place where you've really impacted me over the years, it's reminding me of those things, and not just the money, but all these other areas of life as well. And, that's been huge in my productivity, my focus, and my profits. So
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So before we sign off, if anybody wants to learn more about you and maybe even check you out, where do they do that?
Okay. So, actually, we just talked about this business performance, right? I do have an assessment that is all about business productivity and profitability performance kind of a thing. So I like to share that with the audience. Go ahead and take the assessment. It gives you 4 or 5 different scores in different areas of your business performance. So the link to that, which I'm sure you're going to put it in the show notes as well, but it's easy. It's performance.profitfinder.pro. So profitfinder.pro is a brand that I will be launching soon. So who knows, by the time that this podcast goes out, maybe it's already. So profitfinder.pro is the brand, and the assessment is performance.profitfinder.pro. And if you want to contact with me directly anywhere on social media, I'm at Dr. Kayvon K. So it's at DrKayvonK. So reach out. I would be happy to chat.
Excellent. Please do. And absolutely, we're going to have those links down in the show notes. Kayvon, thank you so much. I mean, I always look forward to any opportunity to talk to you, brainstorm with you, collaborate with you, all of the above. And, friends for life for sure. Thank you so much for being my guest here on the podcast today.
Thank you, Chuck. This has been great. I always enjoy our conversation. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast. And this was a great conversation. Thank you.
All right. And thanks, everyone, for listening in. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have another amazing show for you. Until then, go out and collaborate, partner, and transform your lives and the lives of others. We'll see you next week. This episode is brought to you by the Collaborators Toolkit. If you're looking for better ways to grow and scale your business through collaborations and strategic partnerships, our free Collaborators Toolkit contains the best resources from our workshops as well as contributions from our guests. These tools could be the missing link that you've been looking for to solve everyday business challenges and to access highly effective ideas that can grow your business exponentially. The best part is that these resources, tools, and templates are completely free, and our gift to you for being a valued member of our community and a subscriber to our show. You can get free instant access to the Collaborators Toolkit today by visiting our website at www.collaboratorsunite.com/toolkit. That address again is www.collaboratorsunite.com/toolkit. Register today, and I'll see you on the inside.